Oh man, this is gonna be a weird one. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Jason of Auglitical. So, just recently, I got blindsided by this thing that's going on. That Ashley St. Clair, which is a name that I've seen multiple times. I think she's been on Timcast. She's also been on Value Entertainment. All of that stuff is apparently upset because, well, she's not upset, but apparently, she just revealed that her newborn baby, pretty much, is Elon Musk's 13th child. Now, for those of you who know my channel, you already know I think Elon Musk is cool. I think he's done amazing things, but he is a fucking terrible decision maker when it comes down to women. He can't help but stick his dick in crazy. And to me, a lot of guys think that strength comes from sleeping with multiple women. Other guys think that it comes from finding the right girl, you know, being not exactly being faithful, but picking high quality women. There we go. Nice recovery on that one. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Jason. Uh, Finding high quality woman and making that woman, basically having a family with that woman and not picking low quality women, which can in turn ruin your life. Elon Musk is this weird, I don't know exactly what the word is for it. He's this weird anomaly because he has so much fuck you money that he can just keep sticking his dick in crazy. But it's funny to me because all of these women that he's sticking his dick in crazy about it, like sticking his dick in crazy, and all these girls who otherwise wouldn't fuck with him completely go back on their feminist views. And mind you, this channel is not a female bashing channel. If you come here to just hear me talk badly about women, that's not what this case is. I'm trying to just bring some common sense in a world where common sense is not common. So you can see shit and you know why it's happening and you understand it, at least as far as my dumbass understands it, to give you a baseline of some type of intelligence on the matter. A lot of these women sit here and they say all of this shit. They act like they be in the trenches. They act like they're so different or they're so unique. And at the end of the day, they all end up just like goddamn Courtney Ryan, in which you just go, oh, this is just all bullshit. So let's get into it. So Ashley St. Clair has blew up on the right, apparently, and she's been in all of these places. And this is exactly what I mean by women living on easy street. Not that women don't suffer, not that women don't struggle, not that women's lives can be shit, because we know it's the case, that is possible, and it's absolutely happened. But a lot of women don't understand that their stances on things, when they decide to take stances on things, they don't take things seriously. And when they do take things seriously, it's always wrong. It's always, you know what? Let's just get it. Let's get into it. Ashley St. Clair, the 13th mother, that's the mother of Elon Musk's 13th child.
I don't want any part of whatever this weirdness is going on. I don't agree with it. I think a lot of you guys are going to look back in 10 years and say, where the hell did my country go? With zero introspection for the vast amounts of time you've wasted on meaningless discourse by design, about women and body counts and hating women and repeal the 19th and blah, blah, blah.
Again, it's only stupid and meaningless if it benefits men or benefits humanity. If it does not solely benefit women, then it's fine. My entire life, I have grown up seeing women get nonstop empowered, nourishment, all of this shit while men have been left behind. My entire life, we've heard, I'm a strong woman. I don't need no man. And this is not just a black girl thing. This is all women. You don't need men. We can do everything. What's that? Anything you can do, I can do better. That bullshit. And mind you, it's not making these girls better mothers. It's not making these girls better women. And then I guess to be candidates for family, because at the end of the day, family is important. But the funniest thing is, they don't care about none of this. They never cared about any of this, and they're consistently blessed and favored and told that they can do anything while they just push down men. So every single time that there's ever a problem where you have these influencers, these right-wing influencers, and mind you, this is coming from a person who leans conservative, but this is not the conservative party. Don't get this mixed up. This is not a right-wing thing that I and many people have that share the same interests as me. This is just common fucking sense. You can see the grift coming from a mile away. And the right, for some reason, they're so welcoming to something being something, so they could be like, oh, look, this is my black friend. Look at my African American over here, that type shit, right? They're so quick to flip the script. Oh, I love this person. All of a sudden, you love Amber Rose, even though Amber Rose was going around doing the slut walk, which is completely opposite to supposedly your hard stance as a conservative. Make it make sense. None of this, it's so stupid. All of a sudden, people love Snoop Dogg, even though Snoop Dogg said countless time over and over, he don't trust crackers. Make it, well, he didn't say that outright, but if you paid attention to Snoop Dogg, I forgot, he got, well, it was a fight that happened. It was a boxing fight between influencers. And I guess a white dude was losing or something, or a black dude was losing. And you could hear it in his voice, how he really felt when I guess either the person that was boxing that was losing, that he didn't want to lose, or basically it came out that he said when it comes down to white boy can't fight. Very racist undertones. Let's just put it like that. And it's okay because black people can't be racist in a lot of people's eyes. But I'm just saying, just observe and know what it is. Let's continue.
I am too traditional for the left, not traditional enough for the right. I consider myself a normal person from 10 years ago, and the only thing I care about is making a better country, better world for my children, for my son. And I think many of you are insane. I think you're insane people who, many of you should be institutionalized, frankly.
Said, can we be cousins because I would fuck my cousin? Can I be black?
So, if you're wondering why you're hearing a woman talk and it sounds like what she's saying sounds good, but then you're seeing these pictures from this other thing, which is like basically low quality woman, it's because when Ashley St. Clair was younger, she went under the name Sexlaptop. And she apparently had lied about her age. I don't care. I don't know. I can't verify if she was under the age or she was of the age, because the problem is OnlyFans influence has ruined the last two generations of women, in which you have girls who are not even 15, 14, excited to get ready to start their OnlyFans and already taking on the identity or taking on the habits of promiscuous women. Now, again, as I've said before, I am not against women being promiscuous. Thank you for your cervix, as I always say on this channel. However, the truth of the matter is, it is a grift. And now she has a child with Elon Musk, which is hilarious because, again, as I said, he makes terrible decisions with women. He can't fucking stop. And when Elon Musk is old, when the party, right? Let's say the conservatives get a little bit older, all of these children that are going to be the children of all of these mothers that Elon Musk apparently was not there for, but they're collecting his money. You don't think that there's mothers, uh I don't know, anger, their mother's bitterness, you don't think that it's going to reflect in those children? And those children are going to have access and ways to get into Congress or to have their hands in the cookie jar of the future. Let's just put it like as simple. That's as simple as I can make it. They're going to have easier access. They're going to have money. They're going to have easier access to the future. And and again, all he has 13 children. 13. It only takes one or two of them. This is this shit is so crazy. This is so crazy. As a woman, I know exactly why Ashley St. Clair announced the baby today. It wasn't because she was about to be doxxed, but my money is on Elon being out with another woman tonight for Valentine's Day, and she's pissed. Again, as I said, at the end of the day, when it comes down to that woman lizard brain, and it's again, This is not a female bashing channel. The fact of the matter remains, she thought that she probably thought she was special, which is hilarious considering the fact that she was out there. And I don't give a shit if a woman shows her body online, because if I was a woman and I saw some shit like that, I probably would be doing it too. I probably would never reveal my face, right? But I probably would be doing the same exact thing. I probably would be doing it in some type of way to which I'm making money, because hey, it's a revenue, like it's an angle to get what you want. And I'm not gonna sit there on my high horse and be like, oh, that's fucking terrible. No, it's easy street. I'm gonna go on easy street. I'm gonna go on easy street and I'm gonna make it look good. Instead of playing this game where you have all of these fake conservative influencers who are really just feminists, but pretending that they care about traditional values and they're magged up, but then once they get the chance to show their true colors, they're gonna do what they do. This is what they do. They do this all the time. Again, the there is this weird space on the right where people just say the right is the Andrew Tates. Andrew Tate is not right wing, right? All these like Fresh and Fit, all of that, that's not conservative. This is something that conservatives come from all different walks of life. You can have a conservative who's not religious. You can have a conservative who they just believe certain things. It doesn't mean that they have to be stuck a certain way. But these people, these influencers, a lot of them are only doing it for clout. They're only doing it because this is the path that they chosen, and they see how easy it is to do it. So, uh, as a woman, as I already read this, but my money is on Elon being out with another woman tonight for Valentine's Day. So again, my man just had a baby with this chick who she out of wet. Apparently, I'm guessing she was either married or he was married to somebody out of wedlock. She had a baby out of wedlock, and her baby, she has a baby before this one, and apparently it's been out of wedlock. You can't make this shit up, bro. Like this again. When I say women get away with bullshit, they really do, because I thought, oh, it's so hard out here being a single mom. And once you're a mom, your life is ruined. And that's the reason why we need birth control. Because Christians will scoop up OnlyFans thoughts left and right. Left and fucking right. This is something religious people are notorious for. They say that the final form of a hoe is a housewife. I'm sorry. Yeah, the final form of a hoe is a religious woman. This is what they say, bro. And again, it just blows my fucking mind. Yeah, I like I like Musk a lot, but he is not a moral role model in all categories. Fathers and husbands should not look to him as an example of what to do. Exactly. As I said, Elon Musk has done things that will be echoed for a very long time throughout history. He will be in the when we are long gone, Elon Musk's name will be there. But his fucking choices in women, right? The fact of the matter that he let me see if I can find it. Uh what was it? Ashely St. Clair, which we can look at her history. She was doing all of the shit that she was doing in the past. Talk about she wants to suck, and I can say because I'm black, she wants to suck fat black nigger cock and all of this shit. Grimes, that the girl Grimes or whatever like that. The other who was it? Amber Heard. If you didn't know, uh, Amber Heard Mercy cosplay. Did you know Amber Heard? Like my man, listen, my man Elon Musk. Oh, they're already talking about it on here too. Get out of here. I don't want to see this ad. How do I get rid of this? Okay, look at this. Where's the picture? My man Elon Musk, right, had Amber Heard dress up as fucking Mercy. Get out of here. What is that thing on the top? Had her dress up as Mercy from a video game. I didn't know she liked video games. She probably didn't like video games, but you know why she did it? because Elon Musk is that dude. And this is the thing that we're saying. When you have status, all of that bullshit that a lot of these women sprout is nonsense. Did you? Because they wanted the role play. He told her he liked Overwatch, and so she got, listen, man, you got guys who can't even get their wives to do shit like that. Crazy, crazy stuff. I wonder what meets the criteria to have his baby. Probably the first thing is that you need to be verified on X, which is not me. Intellectual, which is not me. Creative, which is not me. I will say that having so many babies with so many women is his worst tribute. Well, well, well. Okay, so here's the thing: a woman having a child is not the end of the world. You just got to find a guy who's willing to put up with that, right? It's not the end of the world. So anybody sitting there saying, "Oh, these girls who have children, don't fuck with them," like, again, that's that manosphere bullshit that has nothing to do with common sense or with the right or conservatives. That has nothing to do with that. But when you, as I said before, women will mess with a guy with with 6 kids if they know that he can be able to provide for them. When women jump on that, it doesn't matter about their standing or their morals or their the way that they feel about certain things or their feelings. They know, they start thinking with their logic brain only at that point, right? And the feeling which injects into their logic brain is, I can be provided for. It is it is a lizard need that just goes, I don't care. I don't care. I can be, we can be provided for. I can be provided for. So yeah, they're gonna do that. And the fun fact is, we found the first tweet that he ever tweeted to her, and a month later he got her pregnant. It only took her a month. It only took her a month. It only took him a month to clap her cheeks. It only took him a month. Where's the tweet? There was a tweet. Here we go. So again, she did that because she saw my dude was with another girl on Valentine's Day after he clapped her cheeks. Discarded her. It's not to say that he's not a good father. It's not to say he doesn't care about his children. But when it comes down to women, dime a dozen in his world. That's just the truth. Stopping birth. So this was in November, November 6, 2023. Stopping birth control and Adderall was one of the best things I ever did for my mental health. So many Americans on pharmaceutical cocktails and then wonder why they feel out of their minds. And he replied with, for sure. If you don't know what the for sure is, that is the, hey, or the Joey for you guys out there, the guys who know, how you doing, right? That's what that was. That's all that it took. That is all that it took. And roughly 1 month. And the thing is, they were saying that Ashely St. Clair was fishing to get Elon Musk's attention, just like you had that other chick, what is it, Eliza Blue? Oh my God, do you think that Elon Musk fucked Eliza Blue at this point? Because I made the joke that Elon Musk fucked Eliza Blue. At this point, it has to be that. Or should I say, mission failed, because she was doing the same exact thing that Ashely St. Clair is doing, but she was just, you know what I'm saying? It was just a different angle. It was just a different method of her doing what she was doing. Because Eliza Blue got caught for being a grifter. Same exact thing. Eliza Blue was this girl who she was all for, what was it? What, not domestic violence, sexual assault victims, and basically protecting women, and et cetera, et cetera. And she got close to Elon Musk. At least she was attempting to get close to Elon Musk. But she had gotten exposed, and then she slithered back into the darkness. Many such cases for these fucking grifters. And again, you showing your body when you're young, you saying crazy shit when you're older, people change. That's not what we're talking about here. I'm not one of those people to sit there and be like, you don't change. Everything is dealt and obsolete. That's some Sith Lord shit. If you know your Star Wars, you know your Star Wars. We don't do that here, right? People change. The thing is, she's like, the thing is, bro,
one, I swear, but I need to say, I'm not a conservative. I'm not a conservative. I'm not a conservative. I don't want.
And hold on, before I go a little bit too far with this, I just want to make sure that I'm not okay. So that was copied. I'm guessing that was copied off of this, and this is from Basement Lord. Shout out to Basement Lord. I was looking for content. I was trying to do my due diligence and look up this woman. I saw a bunch of videos from people that actually had more information than you do have. Problem is, I'm not going to use content from content creators where I can find and trace it back to that they have influence from fucking Bosch. That ain't happening. That is never happening. I hope that you don't have affiliations to Bosch out there, Basement Lord. And I hope if you don't, and you're on the right and not saying that you need to be conservative or be leftist, but if you're a person who maybe is a truth seeker, or you are a person who's trying to just make common sense in the world, uh, common sense isn't so common, you cool with me. Anyway, let's get it.
Any part of whatever this weirdness is going on.
Any of it. And if you actually listen, he is. And just like how women use
meaningless discourse by design about women and body counts and hating women and repeal the 19th and blah blah.
So Ashely St. Clair finally comes out saying she's not conservative, and this probably only surprises the Tim Pool normies that were so easily fooled when a woman was pushing out conservative ideas. And just like how women use OnlyFans to exploit men's weakness to sex, she saw an open market for all these men that were coming out complaining about it, and just sprinkling in a few traditionalism had all these people fooled, all while this whole time she didn't believe any of it. And if you actually listen to the real red pillars, not the grifters, they already told you all this. They're all the same, just in a different outfit. But guys just so desperately want to believe in that fairy tale. You can see now that she's going on to attack the manosphere. But to her point, there are a lot of people in here that steer the conversation to get guys to buy their course or book. But she doesn't actually believe anything they say. She thinks that we're all stupid for talking about it. And correlating things like body count is hating women, when most of the conversations are not hating women, it's just understanding them.
Blah.
Listen, if a woman sits there and tells you that body count does not matter, that is a red flag. If a man sits there and tells you that body count does not matter, and he's not willing to accept a high body count himself, that is a red flag. If a woman is sitting there trying to talk to a conservative man and she opens up with body count does not matter, that is a red flag. That is something that no person should accept. Or you should have a right to know what it is, and you should have a right to deny and just say, you know what, that's not what I want. And you have every right to say that. And if they get upset at you, if a man gets upset at you because you found out he's a hoe, he was fucking your friends, and he's trying to clap your cheeks, and you won't give him a chance even though he claimed he's changed, and he gets mad at you for that, or a guy doesn't want to fuck with a girl who has multiple baby fathers, and she just finished fucking somebody not even a week later, but she claims that she loves you and all of this shit, and she gets upset because you say you do too much, you should know better. Absolutely. So Ashely St. Clair talk about she's all on the conservative side and X, Y, and Z. It's one thing for her to sit there and say that she's not a conservative, as she says in this video. But if you followed her content, if you follow any of her history, you already know she was grifting hard.
I am too traditional for the left, not traditional enough for the right. I consider myself a normal person from 10 years ago. And
a normal person from 10 years ago. Yeah, everyone's done it. Everyone's showed nudes off. You know what I'm saying? If you're a little bit more freaky than others, sure, you can show nudes to other people. But to continue that even past that little age, I had a little freaky side of me. I had a fake account on X where I was bagging all these. I was fucking all these. I'm not saying I was fucking, but I could have fucked all of these goddamn mothers, these rich women, right? Over there all up in, listen, I could have done a lot of things. We've all had our little spurts, and some of us still do. Ain't nothing wrong with tickling your pickle. You know what I'm saying? When a girl's hurting for a squirting. Again, as I said, thank you for your cervix. Again, no one has a problem with that. No one cares about. In fact, I've met 3 girls that were OnlyFans girls, and they are some of the coolest people I fucking know. And yeah, they do the shit that they do. And I know this may sound crazy. A lot of these girls, the girls that I know, right, are are more, what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for here? They are more grounded in reality. They are more honest than majority of the chicks that you probably talk to, right? And they just know what it is. They just are real about it. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy for me to say that? So it's not that. It's the fact of the matter that this whole thing was just bullshit. That's for me. I hate that. I hate running into people who act one way and then you find out shit about them and you realize they're fucking fake. I hate fake people.
The only thing I care about is making a better country, better world for my children, for my son. And I think many of you are insane. I think you're insane people who many of you should be institutionalized, frankly.
Said, can we be cousins because I would fuck my cousin? Can I be black?
I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are just like you, in the middle, not left or right, and don't believe in either of the extremes. But that's not what you went out there and sold to everybody. You went out there and sold traditionalism, and not only that, made a huge profit and following off of it, all while
There it is. My man. What is it? Basement Dweller? What the fuck is your name? Basement Lord? Listen, a Basement Dweller. That Mama's Basement Dweller. That actually would have been a base name. Listen, exactly what I'm saying. We are people who we're not fence sitters. We have clear lines in the sand. But when you sit there and you put yourself out as one thing, right? When you put yourself out as one thing, it's one thing for you to do that and not be affecting nobody. But you knew that, like, she had to have known that this was going to happen. You think it didn't cross her mind? Oh, I'm about to fuck Elon Musk. I'm gonna be remembered for some time in some which way, shape, or form. You didn't think when this spastic built like a refrigerator motherfucker was getting his was getting his pumps in, probably hitting that shit from the back. You didn't just get ran by a refrigerator in the bedroom. You don't think in her head she was like thinking she's still climbing, like she was thinking she's climbing a social ladder? You didn't think that crossed her mind? Come on now.
hating the fan base that you built up, proving to all of us that a lot of these conservative women don't actually believe what they're saying and are only out here to grift off men. And the whole ironic thing about this is that you girls attacked Pearl so hard, yet you do the exact same thing. And if you and all these other girls actually cared about men, you'd be out trying to get laws changed, not on podcasts to say the talking points and collect the money, attention, and likes. Because that's what it's all been about for you. And
I'm gonna let you in on a secret. There are certain girls that don't align with the shit that I say. For example, I have girls who, if I said that I would fuck them, and I have no problem, I say to I fuck Pearl, I fuck that. It's something about her being tall. I want to just have giant babies with her, right? And here's the thing, I don't give a shit about what Pearl's talking about. You have a lot of these people that are like, a lot of these women. She gets on women's nerves because Pearl says shit like younger women are more attractive than older women. This is true. She says a lot of shit that's annoying. I don't agree with everything Pearl says, but I'll sit here with a straight face and tell you, I will sit there. Listen, I will sit there in a girl's face that I like and straight up say, I would fuck Pearl. Just like you would sit there and fuck Luigi Mansioni, the motherfucker that just shot the CEO. Just like you sit there and you like Twilight, just like how you sit there and you like um all this other fucking 50 Shades of Grey and all of this shit. Men can't have their own version of that. Fuck that. I'm over that. You know who else I do? I do that girl named Justa Meeks. And that girl bat shit out of her mind, but she's hot to me. I do her. You know who else I would do? Surprisingly or not, I would not touch AOC. Absolutely not. I'm thinking about women who I would mess with, that would surprise you. I'm trying to think of, like, because if you get it out in the open, no one can make you feel bad about it. You know what I'm saying? I thought about Mia Khalifa, but then it was like, you hear the shit that come out of her mouth and you're just like, nah, man. Maybe a tit fuck, but nah, not really. Because then she'll say something. And my thing is, I really do start to hate people once I really start to understand them. I, well, listen, I guess it's a little bit too far. Like, again, that's just me. Again, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. A lot of the hate that a lot of these women have for Pearl is only because Pearl is saying a lot of shit that they don't like because she's also bringing to attention a lot of shit that they been getting away with. There, I fucking said it. It is what it is. I don't care. I don't care how you feel about it. I don't care how anybody feels about it. I don't care if you like Pearl or you dislike Pearl. It is what it is. I really don't care.
And all these other girls. You found a niche to get in on, and now you can funnel all the simp money your way and just keep repeating the same talking points, but not actually do or change anything, and quite actually live the opposite life that you're preaching. And I can only hope that this is a bit of a wake-up call for some of these guys, that these women aren't on your side, that they'll divorce.
Ooh, who was that girl who just came up? There was a girl who came up and she said nigga on stream, and it was this white girl who a lot of people was like, oh, she's a Jill, which is again fucking stupid. Just because Jews are in media and they seem to always be at the end of the trail of bad shit happening in the world, that doesn't mean all Jews are bad. So please stop it. Um, just because Jews have done a lot of shit and they tend to have their hands in a lot of shit. I don't forgive the Muslims for what they did during October 7th, just like I never forgave them for 9/11. You know what I'm saying? They're not all bad, but it is what it is. I can hate both of y'all. These hands are rated E for everyone. Everybody can get it. The thing that's so funny about it is, remember that girl, Lily? Is it Lily? What was her name? The girl who popped up and she all of a sudden said she blew up all of a sudden, and then like you had all these people on the right, like there's nothing wrong with her saying the N word and all, and basically you had all of your racists and your pseudo racists come out, and they're like, yeah, we rallied behind her, and come find out she was just like everything that was coming out of her mouth. She was like, oh, men need to just be men and just accept having no standards, and if a girl has a kid, just take them and turn them, or what was it's the theater kids and gamers. She lumped theater kids and gamers together and was like, they're the reason why men are so weak. And it was like, I knew she was fake from before. I felt it in my core, but that solidified it right there. She doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. And then she had the nerve to sit there and talk about she had a bunch of people that I never seen before, and they were saying they're the new face of MAGA. It was like, oh, the right wing. I was like, yo, bro, what? Holy shit, that was quick.
Force you and take everything from you, just like the women they preach against. And if you still don't believe it, all these women sell beer and calendar now, and nothing says, let's own the left by buying half-naked pictures of me instead of these women. It's all just a big grift to extract money from you, and that's what it's always been for these people. Most of these people on here aren't actually interested in helping you, and really that's a general rule in life, and they'll say and do whatever they need to get whatever they're looking out of you. And who knows?
What is he playing? Is this for? Oh, it's Diablo. It's one of the old ones. I'm actually interested in that.
Maybe this was all just one big giant psyop to send in girls to implode the right from him within. But either way, the point still stands. She was still just a grifter from the start. But there's too many guys out here dick thinking first. And until we get over this Achilles heel we have with that, nothing's ever going to really change.
Well, the truth of the matter, there's nothing wrong with thinking with your dick. It's when you make this. No, that makes no sense. Hold on. There is nothing. Okay. It is natural for a guy to be attracted to a majority of the females that are in his life that are you're able to have sex with, if you can have sex with them. Does that make sense? Like, I know when I had Facebook, I only had like 20 friends, and like every single female besides probably one or two out of like 12 out of the 12 females, at some point I was like, yeah, I could have fucked them. Right? It crosses your mind. That's fine. It's when you're decision making. And this is what it comes down to Elon Musk. Elon Musk's decision making is terrible. It's not to say that Elon Musk can't have a lot of children, but the amount of women that he's had these children with is insane. And it's the quality of these women that's even worse. And again, so if anyone's sitting there like, oh, you're just bashing Ashley, I could really give a shit less. But it's just the grift. It's just the grift. Middle MAGA, Ashley St. Clair flames Patrick Bet David's $250 grift bait. Now I remember Patrick. He said basically he wants to do the debate between Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro, And the reason why, if you got, and just to rehash this really quickly, uh, Candace Owens basically um, left the Daily Wire, and a lot of people said it was because of her stance with Israel and the shit that's going on in Gaza, and how she's basically not she's not shilling for Israel. She's not shilling for Jews. She's not doing that and all of that. And the Daily Wire is ran by Jews or whatever. So she basically went off on her own, and basically Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens has been making diss tracks against each other. Well, not really, but they've been basically shooting missiles at each other back and forth. So Patrick said, "Fine, then we'll do this on middle ground on my show, and I will donate money. I forgot where it was. Let's get it."
Every single tragedy that happens in the world brings views to X. All of it is monetized.
Now you're asking, what the fuck does this got to do with Ashley St. Clair and Elon Musk? Follow me on this.
Everybody does that. If you monetize content on George Floyd, you monetize his unlived body. And my take is I don't have a problem with it. I absolutely have no problem with it. Corporate media does it. They're not going to stop. Nobody's saying I'm not taking ad revenue on these conversations, and they shouldn't be saying that. And there's no difference between that and what Patrick Bet-David did there. I would have really respected it if she would have said the money Patrick Bet-David offered, the $250,000, is more than what's been raised to this point. If anybody's interested, the family's still accepting donations. So she wouldn't have dissed him for no reason, for no ridiculous reason. She would never diss Elon Musk, so she wouldn't have dissed him, and she
Of course she wanted to diss Elon Musk. She was probably sucking that man off.
would have highlighted if this
Like, yo, I just need you guys to think about this. How old is she? Like, hold on. How old is Ashley St. Clair? How old is she? Okay, so she's 31. I just need you guys to think about this. She let that man bust his go-gurt all up inside of her guts raw. Raw. You think that she would criticize Elon Musk? Nah.
wasn't a grift upon a grift, she would have just said, here, if you're interested, here's a link to donate.
Middle MAGA.
Patrick Bet-David got into the grift wars that is the Candace Owens versus Ben Shapiro. This one's not about Candace Owens, Ben Shapiro. This is going to be about terrible takes, Ashely St. Clair. So Patrick Bet-David did this. Ashely St. Clair, who is just a creator, content creator, was not happy with Patrick Bet-David over his offer to
My
host.
proposal to you.
So he said a proposal, and here's the proposal. And I understand why it might be like, oh, why would you do that? But you got to think through this stuff. Here's the proposal.
My proposal to you. If you're America First, we, Valuetainment, have agreed that if you want to do the sit down with us, a fair and balanced sit down, the moderating of the two of you, we will give $250,000 to Laken Riley's family because of what's happening today with illegal immigration. It's the #1 issue in America, and I think it matters to the both of you. So no matter where you live, today we're raising our kids in America. So I want to make sure we're America first. And last but not least, my proposal.
So that's the problem there, and you can hear it. It's the Laken Riley, and I thought that when I played the clip, and I was like, I probably wouldn't have done that. But you got to think through this, and there's a difference between saying, well, yeah, I don't know, maybe that's not for me. That's a different take. So if somebody has the take where, okay, that's not for me, that's one take. But then to have this take is a whole different animal. And this is the take from Ashely St. Clair. She says, for some perspective, Patrick Bet-David is dangling a $100,000 donation. I don't know why it's in quotes. To Laken Riley's family, contingent on Candace Owens.
It's in quotes. It's in quotes because she's basically downplaying it. $250,000 is a lot of fucking money. I don't care which way you look at it. But again, that's $500,000. But anyway, she's trying to downplay it.
And Ben Shapiro fighting about Israel on the show. So you can already tell she's obviously pro Israel, the other country over there. She's pro that country, so she's kind of already feeling some kind of way, probably thinking that the one that she would be rooting for in that debate is probably going to get his ass handed to him by Candace Owens if they do discuss. But that's kind of in the backdrop of this. She goes on to say this donation would be the entirety of what has been raised on Laken Riley's GoFundMe. So at this point, I have no problem with her comments.
Oh, Ashley St. Clair's Jewish. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't matter anything to me, but do with that information as you will.
Then now here's where we go sideways. Teasing this life-changing money in the face of a family whose daughter was brutally unlived as a result of the border crisis is in incredibly poor taste, especially from someone who only flies private. What does any of that have to do with anything? All these people fly private. Your boss I think she works with Babylon B. I think she's cool with Tim Cass. I'm not 100% sure who's on what payroll she's on. Have you flown private? What does that have to do with anything? She is a complete leftist, and she actually is.
See that? Another person who realizes that Ashley St. Clair really isn't who she is. And mind you, she's saying all of this thing, but you just finished getting banged and discarded by the biggest person doing monetization on all of that. What are you saying? I mean, I don't know if there's ever been a bigger kind of all right, so this is the guy who I didn't want to do the content off of, but he does have a lot, and even the problem is there's a lot of people that don't like this guy's content, but this is the thing. This was 5 years ago that he did this. Now, mind you, he's been groomed by Vosh, apparently. That's what some people are saying. I don't know anything about it, but we're just gonna look at the video. We're gonna try to just sort through the bullshit, if there's any bullshit in there, and I just want you guys to see it for yourself. So that was Middle Maga before. The guy before that was Basement Dweller, Mama's Basement. That's a crazy name, bro. What's in the basement? This is the last video, and this is going to be the end of the video.
Everybody, Hunter Avalone here, back with another video. And today, ladies and gentlemen, the tea is hot. Today, I am exposing an up-and-coming right-wing darling named Ashley St. Clair. This is also quite ironic because, well, she's the farthest thing from being a saint. Now, I am really not a big fan of infighting, and I'm all for supporting other rising conservatives. But I certainly do have an issue with hypocrites who exploit conservatism for their own personal gain. Ashley St. Clair is not a conservative. She is a social climber willing to exploit any means necessary in order to gain recognition. Today we are going to be taking a look at her controversial past, as well as some recent deleted footage revealing her hypocritical political stances. Today I will be exposing Ashley St. Clair, the right-wing fraud. Look, I'm hot, so everything I say is right. Ashley St. Clair seemingly...
You know what's funny about that though? That's exactly how they act. And this is coming from a person who's not fucking a magatard or not a lefty shill or not a commie cuck. This is what they do. This is something I've realized. They come out of nowhere all the time, and they say the most shallow shit. Right? They say the most shallow shit, and they never ever sit there and say they're their own person. They say the most shallow shit, and they go hard in a whatever direction or whatever grift that they're doing. They go hard that way. Oh man.
Instantly began gaining recognition on conservative Twitter. She tweets anti-SJW rhetoric, trolls liberals, sports her MAGA hat, and is now partnered with Turning Point USA. She posts photos of herself holding guns and strives to be the ultimate conservative female fantasy, amassing over 120,000 followers on Twitter. Despite coming out of nowhere and rising to prominence extremely fast, she's well connected with top conservative figures and is a regular at large conservative events.
As of right now, she has 1 million followers. It took 5 years to get there, but that's still successful as hell. That means that she has her own way of making money through the grift and all of that. Easy street. Easy fucking street. There are guys who have been in this game for much longer that have produced way more, that has done way more, and they're not even sitting at 25,000. Crazy, crazy out there. It's just like gamers. It's just like the gaming space. As a guy, you have to prove like a battle royale that you are in the top fucking 10 just to be seen or get lucky or do outrageous shit consistently. Your looks don't really matter unless it's other women that find you attractive, but they're not in the same spaces as you. And if you are in that space, that girl's gonna get catapulted off of your fame based on her looks or just by you on Easy Street. But when a girl gets into the gaming space, it is like 80 to 70% about her looks. The rest of it is just fluff. It doesn't even have to be about gaming. Crazy work.
Even appearing as a special guest at Turning Point USA's Women's Summit. But there's a side to Ashely St. Clair that many of you are unaware of.
Hold on, that's fucking crazy. So you mean 5 years ago, this woman was sitting here talking about body count doesn't matter, and they put her on the Women's Summit? A woman who sits there, not in the middle of the road, she's on Turning Point USA, a pro-conservative site that promotes family values and all of that. A woman who said body counts don't matter. And this was closer to when she was still doing her sex laptop shit, which she was able to find out before because she's done it multiple times. She's on a woman's this is the biggest problem with the fucking right. You guys are too willing to allow people who don't belong in your movement to raise them up to be the cool kids, and you're never going to be the fucking cool kids. You have cool kids in your group, and you don't even fucking put these people up. You don't prop those people up. You put the worst people up. The worst people up every fucking time. And 100%, it's just like when Amber Rose spoke at the Republican convention. I don't care that Amber Rose did the shit that she did in the past, but at the same time, she had her own experience. She said what she had to say, fine, respect that. However, if Amber Rose was doing the same exact thing, and then the next week she said that she was being conservative, and this is the reason why, you would see all of these fucking dick riders jump or click riders jump in and be like, yeah, she's a real one. There's a lot of Trump supporters, they just don't speak out. All of this stupid shit every single time. It's just a fucking grift.
And her controversial past, as well as this recent deleted footage, brings into question her entire conservative persona. Now we'll get to her recent remarks and what they mean shortly, but first, let's take a look at her controversial and shady past. Hey black boys, being a cam girl is awesome because capitalism. Wanna see more? That'll be $20.
You know what? That's actually insane, right? Because a lot of the things that I've seen about that is that she would basically degrade black people, call them niggas and all of that. But that was her preferred. Apparently, that was her preferred type of dick to be inserted in her Miracle Quip. To make Miracle Quip, if you know what I'm saying. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? So even her sexual preferences for what which makes me wonder. You know what? I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm not gonna touch that.
Ashely St. Clair has a long history of engaging in exploitative behavior in order to gain followers and recognition. Before she was Ashely St. Clair, she was known as Ashely Nicole, or more notoriously, Sexlaptop. Archived tweets from the now suspended account show followers quote tweeting Sexlaptop's admission to being Ashely Nicole in 2014, as well as photos of her associated with the account. Now, it was Ashely's first account, Sexlaptop, which began to reveal her exploitative behavior and the willingness to go to extreme measures in order to gain followers and popularity. Now, please keep in mind what I'm about to tell you is alleged. These are only allegations, and I want to make that extremely clear. Ashely St. Clair allegedly used this account, Sexlaptop, to sell nude photos of herself to gamers in order to gain clout and followers. When this account was active, Ashely was well under the age of 18, meaning she was allegedly selling underage explicit photos of herself. Tweets remarking about her nude photos can be found dating back to 2014 when the Sexlaptop account was active, long before Ashely was a conservative public figure, when there would really be no motive to lie. As she grew into a public figure, people began recognizing her as the once notorious e-girl. Tweets remarking about her sending nudes in 2014 have been posted from verified accounts, and images have been associated with other similar claims as well. Again, these are only allegations. Everything I'm saying right now is alleged, but the quantity and consistency of these claims are at the very least suspicious. Even more so, Ashely's history of tweeting content only lends credence to these allegations. She also operated a Vine account under the same username where she also posted suggestive content.
Max said, "Can we be cousins because I would fuck my cousin? Can I be black?"
However, that wasn't the only account she used. Ashely also operated an account called @Optatives. This account was originally called Ashely N. St. Clair, as you can see from the threads of her old tweets. This account holds multiple different tweets of a younger Ashely tweeting anti-white sentiments. Now, I'm not one to dig up old tweets and get triggered by them, so by now you're probably thinking, Hunter, so what if she has a shady past? It doesn't mean that she's not genuine now. Believe me, if the evidence stopped there, you'd be right. However, there's a lot more to this story. So we've established that Ashely St. Clair has not always held conservative views, and even if the allegations of her selling nude photos are false, her previous accounts still exhibit willingness to engage in exploitative behavior in order to gain followers. So what's changed? And how exactly is her shady past relevant today?
MAGA, build the wall? Is that what I'm supposed to say? Is that what these guys like? Yeah?
It's now 2019, and Ashely St. Clair is a famous conservative influencer. She's adored by all the thirsty boys, and the internet has mostly forgotten the once notorious Sexlaptop. Maybe Ashely changed. Maybe she turned away from being a desperate e-thought and instead fully embraced conservatism. That'd be very nice if true, but recently she appeared on a podcast where she made several remarks that contradict her current public persona. The podcast featured Steve from The Scoop and Dylan from Too Savage for Democrats, and probably took place at some point in April. What makes this all even more suspicious and strange is the fact that this podcast was later deleted. And it's not too hard to see why. It's obvious that this podcast was an absolute disaster for Ashely's facts over feelings conservative persona, when right off the bat, she admitted to fabricating data when it supported her agenda.
And then there's another side of me, especially when I debate, dude. I make up polls so much when I debate. And then there'll be another side. And then, yo, dude, I'll just like MSNBC exit poll, dude. But then
Next, she began criticizing Donald Trump. Now, as a conservative myself, there's nothing inherently wrong with criticizing Trump. But she chose to criticize Trump and then later tweeted about Trump's accomplishments.
Why am I doing this?
Base. He hasn't done anything for his base either. He never
No.
sticks up for his base. Violent attacks all the time, censorship all the time. And it's like, why are people still sticking their neck out all the time? Yeah, but I love him for
100%.
not being president. I think it doesn't do well for him being president. I don't think he's passed much good policy except for like the thing about free speech on campus. That was cool. But besides that, he really hasn't done anything. We haven't gotten hardly any
But what if
progress
free
at
speech
all.
on campus is
That's nasty work right there. That's insane right there. See, it's one thing to be critical of Trump because it's whatever. We're not in a fucking cult. As much as they try to make it seem like we're in a cult, it's not a fucking cult. But let's be real here. For you to go that fucking hard, and mind you, the shit that she's saying is how she actually feels. It's when you see a person and you see a weird change in them, you gotta pay attention and realize what was real before and what was fake. It's kind of like if you really need to see that, hang out with a friend, right? And I'm not saying do this because I wouldn't do this, but I can see women doing this in a different way. But if you got a friend, hang out with them, piss them off. Piss them the fuck off. And everything about you that they have on their mind that's in their heart of hearts is going to come out. They may say some shit that really fucking hurts you. And if they don't jump back in shock, like, oh shit, man, oh fuck, right? You know what I'm saying? If it's not that, that ain't your fucking friend. That motherfucker hates you. But if you ever want to find out the true nature, the true intentions of somebody, make them upset. Or in this case, if you really want to see their nature, in this case, we just saw Ashley's real fucking nature. It's just like that OnlyFans girl Nala, who she was sitting there, and for the longest time, she was doing more and more extreme shit. And all of a sudden, she found God because, again, the final form of a hoe is a fucking religious woman. And all of a sudden, she found God, and now it's just another avenue. It's just another angle to make money. And she's already married. Easy street, as I've always said. Fucking easy street.
Ashely St. Clair is a fraud. She knows the role she needs to play in order to garner attention, and she's doing just that. She's only saying what you want to hear. She's essentially an actress. But my friends, that's not the end of it. She later ridiculed Republicans for caring about illegal immigration and mocked those who say we need to build the wall.
The right is losing
The media wants that. I don't think.
The right's losing elections because of this identity politics. So, like in Colorado, the biggest issue among Republican voters is immigration. You know how many illegal immigrants we have here? Like fucking 12. Not literally.
Right.
We don't. It's not an issue, but that's the top issue among Colorado Republican voters, and the top issue among Democrats is education, things that actually matter. And so they're just screwing them.
Nasty work. Look at the change. Mind you, this video was made 5 years ago. What is the biggest problem right now when it came down to why people voted, even people on the left? Even a lot of these communists, these commie kids, they voted to get these motherfuckers that don't belong in the United States out. You hear what's coming out of this woman's mouth? And Elon Musk just fucked her raw and got her pregnant. Man, I tell you, bro. Like you know, for a person as smart and as laser focused and autistic as it is, because they try to make autism seem like a superpower in social media. How the fuck did you not know? Yo, bro, it ain't like as though my man Elon Musk doesn't have the fucking council. Or like he doesn't have the Justice League of people around him to be like, I want all information on Ashely St. Clair. I want to know her political stances. I want to know anything crazy that she did. I want to know if it's shaved down there. I want to know all of the. And he would have known. He definitely would have known because of her history in the background. In the past, he definitely would have known. And he doesn't know either. He doesn't know any of this, or this man just does not give a fuck. He's just fucking anything. As I said, not only is he fucking them, he's doing it raw. He's not only doing it raw, he's taking supplements so he can bust all his Go-Gurt and then some. Man.
Themselves over with this identity politics and build the wall, and this is all we care about.
Not only is she factually incorrect, but later after this podcast, she spouted off about, you guessed it, building the wall. This, my friends, is what happens when e-thoughts go political. Ashely St. Cuck is just a 2D conservative fraud with absolutely no substance.
There's no such thing as a female incel, bro. I don't think there is. I know that there is, but I'm gonna say it for the sake. I don't think there is. Okay, any girl who is average to slightly below average looking, there's no such thing as a female incel. An incel is a person that wants to have sex who can't have sex. There is no such thing as a female incel. If you're at least a 4 or a 3, even 3s still can get. You'd be surprised. It'd be these hermercaloid looking ass, oblong looking motherfucking. What's that shit from? Not He-Man. What was the shit with the and it was like this. Was it He-Man? It's not He-Man. What is? It's a show that was like He-Man, I think. Or was it He-Man? And he had like a rhinoceros that shot like orange balls out of its nose. And he had like a friend who looked like a yellow jello, and the yellow jello would be like, unless you look like that shit, not even, because that shit can still get it, because girls will fuck anything. But anything that's fucking weird. A guy says that he could fix her. It's a girl who he just wants to have sex with. Girl says that he could fix him. It's Cthulhu or some shit.
She's using the conservative movement to garner fame, and I'm not convinced she believes half the stuff she talks about. Ashely did receive a good amount of backlash for her comments on immigration, and she attempted to clarify on Twitter, claiming she's only human and makes mistakes in the heat of a debate. Well, I watched this entire deleted live stream, and let me tell you, there was absolutely no debate going on. It was just a bunch of friends casually chatting. Even in her clarification tweet thread, she claimed we do need to build the wall, once again reaffirming my point that she's just saying what you want to hear. Maybe you're still not convinced that she's a fraud. Maybe you're not too sure if she's really just doing this for popularity and money. Well, even worse, she bashed Turning Point USA and then mocked the people who attend those events.
This Turning Point giant conferences aren't just huge rage fests. They get conservative rock stars. It's like going to a rock concert, rave style fucking party.
No, it's literally just a bunch of white dudes wearing MAGA hats, like getting hard-ons because Benny Johnson came on stage. They don't do anything for change. They do nothing legislation-wise. They just sit there and provoke people on campuses.
Beef with your meaning not to go. I refuse to fucking go to the events, dude.
It sucks.
Now again, this wouldn't really...
Nasty work. Then why would you go in there? Again, I said it earlier in this video. Whenever it's something that benefits humanity, or whenever it's something that benefits men and humanity, which is also women, it's not good. It has to be for women, or otherwise they don't like it. To sit there and say it's just a bunch of fucking white dudes. Yes, only white people support Turning Point USA. That's crazy, bro.
Be an issue if she didn't join Turning Point only a few weeks after making these disparaging...
Holy shit, bro! Yo! So it's not like as though she did something with Turning Points USA and then was with them for a while and then said this. She literally said this shit and then immediately after went on to talk for women. Man.
Comments and tweet repeatedly about how wonderful they were after...
I'm sorry, let's go back just a little bit. I just want to read the grift a little. Wanted to send a special thank you to the whole team, especially blah, 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 and Sarah. These Patriots are making a historic... These Patriots! And I'm proud to call them friends. I'm proud to call them friends. That's nasty work, bro.
Like getting hard-ons because Benny Johnson.
Hold on, what?
Just a bunch of white dudes wearing MAGA hats, like getting hard-ons because Benny Johnson came. White dudes wearing MAGA hats, like getting hard-ons because literally just a bunch of white dudes wearing MAGA hats, like getting hard-ons because just a bunch of white dudes wearing MAGA hats, like getting hard-ons because Benny Johnson came on stage. They don't do anything for change. They do nothing legislation-wise. They just sit there and provoke people on campuses.
Beef with your meeting.
The irony in that is that that's exactly how the left moves. A lot of the times the left is just making noise. They're not signing things. They're just making a bunch of fucking noise. But they are the loudest in the room, so the needle starts to move in their fucking favor. If the right don't even want to move, if the people in the center don't want to move, the ball doesn't move in their fucking favor. The needle doesn't move. As I said in my last video, or the video before it, I can't really remember, when it comes down to voting, the left doesn't outnumber the right. And the middle, they definitely don't outnumber the middle. I think it's like literally like 22 for the left. It's like 30 something for the right. And then in the center, there's this big fucking chunk of just real estate. It's free real estate. And so you got people who are single issue voters that end up going on one side or the other side, right? The truth of the matter is, the radicals on the left, they're going to always fucking vote. And they want to demoralize people on the right and in the center to not vote. And what they're going to think is, oh, well, you know, somebody else will vote, so it'll be fine. I don't need to vote. It's fine. You know, even in places like New York, where it almost turned red recently. Nobody votes in New York City. That's the reason why it has Democrat policies the way that it does. The majority, if you took a room of New Yorkers, 100 people in New York and said, do you like the shit that was going on in New York? Overwhelmingly, they would all sit there and lean to the fucking right. Of course, you're gonna get your fucking your anarchists, people that just want to watch the fucking world burn. Somehow they manage to sneak in some homeless people who are mentally deranged. Which I say, if these people can hate the rich, but do you have the strength to hate the fucking poor? Keep it a buck. Hands rated E for everyone. And then you got your fucking commie kids who are well off, but they want to feel something. They want to be unique. They don't want to be NPCs. They want to be unique characters in their own fucking stories. And what was the saying? Every villain believes they're the hero of their own story. Borderlands 2. Yeah. They're going to sit there and they're going to say the opposite. But overwhelmingly, these people don't want this. And it's because they don't fucking vote. So for her to sit there and say some shit like these people don't do any fucking thing, how do you think the Democrats are trying to get votes right now when they had all the power? Now they're running on a thing of reparations. Anyone peep that? Ayanna Pressley and all of these fucking idiots is coming out here talking about they want to run on reparations now. And they're still playing the same fucking playbook because they're using black people first, but they're saying they're also talking about fucking immigrants who are not black. So they're still playing in black people's faces. Talk about some fucking reparations. You're going to give some fucking reparations to people that immigrated here on their own will, who know where their family line is, who probably have a home in their old countries, have family in their old countries, can go back to their fucking old countries, but disrespect the United States. Let's finish this fucking video.
Not to go. I refuse to fucking go to the event, dude.
Sucks.
Now again, this wouldn't really be an issue if she didn't join Turning Point only a few weeks after making these disparaging comments and tweet repeatedly about how wonderful they were after the women's event. Wanted to send a special thank you to the whole Turning Point USA, especially Charlie Kirk, etc. These patriots are making a historic difference, and I'm proud to call them friends.
They don't do anything for change. They do nothing legislation-wise. They just sit there and provoke people on campuses.
Had an incredible time with Turning Point USA. I was blown away by the sheer energy and optimism of every young woman there, eager to make a difference. This organization is truly helping to save the country, and I'm damn proud to be volunteering along.
What is this fucking inspirational coming out the closet music? What is this?
Them.
No, it's literally just a bunch of white dudes wearing MAGA hats, like getting hard-ons because Benny Johnson came on stage. It sucks.
Ashely St. Clair is a poser, and she's a wannabe. If she's allegedly willing to exploit her own body for popularity, I see no reason why she wouldn't also be willing to exploit her true beliefs for popularity. Like I said, I hate infighting, but I hate hypocritical grifters even more. Since her younger years, Ashely has been thirsty for attention, and I'm really not convinced that much has changed. Ashely St. Clair truly has a lot of explaining to do. And I don't like hypocritical e-girls with an IQ at room temperature, exploiting, posing, and using the conservative movement to line her pockets. Ashely St. Clair, conservatism is about honesty and actually believing in the things you're fighting for, not simply fighting to make more money and get more attention. Ashely St. Clair, you are a right-wing fraud.
That was pretty good.